Hey everyone, so in second hour today, some students struggled a little bit with the last section of the notes. I figured I would make a video and sort of better explain how to identify transformations just by looking at the equation. I think we took a good amount of time to explain this, so I won't go over this too much, but I will refer to it. In any equation that I give you, whether it be quadratic, cubic, or square root, you need to take a look at the A value. The A value will tell you two things: whether or not there's a reflection, a stretch, or compression. There's an H value that's associated with the power, so it will be inside of the parentheses or underneath the root. And that H value will tell you if we're moving left or right. Keep in mind, we do essentially have to change the sign or do the opposite of what you would think because of the X minus H. If we subtract a positive number, we move right. If we subtract a negative number, it's going to look like X plus something, and we would be moving left. And then there's a K value on the outside, so not within the parentheses or root, and that tells us if we're moving up or down. These, we would move it the way we'd expect. If it's plus, we move up, minus, move down. Okay? I'm just going to move this aside. All right, number one, when I take a look at this, there's no H or K value, but I can see that A is a -1. Now, the negative tells me that there's a reflection, and the fact that the numerical value is 1 tells me that there is no stretch or compression. So reflection is all that I needed to put there. Number two, there's a +7 on the outside of my power, so this right here is a K value. And because K is positive, I will be moving up 7 units. Number 3, I have the square root of X plus 3. Now this time we can see that the 3 is associated with the power. It's underneath that square root. And with it being underneath the square root, H is going to be -3. So it's the opposite sign. And the reason why it's the opposite sign, once again, is because the form is X minus H. We have to subtract a -3 to get the X plus 3 expression, because 2 negatives makes a positive. Because H is negative, we are going to move left 3 units. Number 4, this cubic equation has an A value of +2/5. So I know that there is no reflection because the A is positive. And I also know that there is a compression. It's a compression because A is between 1 and 0. Had it been flipped, so 5/2, for example, 5/2 is greater than 1 and it would have been a stretch. Don't get used to the idea that any fraction is going to be a compression. You have to actually look at the value of that number. Number 5, A is 4, because 4 is greater than 1. I know it's going to be a stretch. Number 6, we have multiple transformations. The 1 is inside of the parentheses in this quadratic equation. So H is going to be a +1. Once again, remember, it's X minus H. I'm subtracting a +1. And then I also have a number outside, which means K is -6. H equals 1 means we're moving right 1, and K being -6 means we are moving down 6. Number 7, A is a -3/2. So the fact that A is negative tells us that there's going to be a reflection. And the actual number, the 3/2, tells us if it's going to be a stretch or compression. Okay, so we treat it separately. A being negative tells us one thing. The actual number tells us something else. Now, this is what I was warning you about. 3/2 is not a compression. 3/2 is greater than 1 because it's equivalent to 1 1/2. So this would be a vertical stretch. All right, that's it. Good luck on your homework, guys.